Hey, afternoon guys. I'm going to try to make this sweet and quick because my mom just went to go pay the TID bill, the energy bill if you will. Well, not energy, but the gas and water bill. You get the energy bill, let's put it that way. So I'm going to try to make this quickly as possible. This is my review on last night's 1000th Raw. And I have to say it was pretty good. You know, the way they did it, the way they structured it is they knew that they had to pull out all the stops for this. They knew they had to do things that they had not done at many, big time shows, celebration shows, if you will. So for this one, they knew they had to pull out all the stops. I mean, to open it up with DX, you think, obviously, DX reunion, you'd think, oh, Shawn Michaels and Triple H just like before, big deal, right? We've seen it before. But when rumors started speculating that Billy Gunn and X-Pac were going to be there, as well as the Road Dogg, who works as an agent, a road agent for the company, you knew something was up. And as soon as you knew something was up, and as soon as you heard Triple H ask, wasn't there more of us, that's when you knew you were going to see them. And it was nice seeing them come out in the tank Jeep, if you will, that was similar to the one, if not the same one, they used for the WCW Invasion. Now, it was a great promo. Damien Sandow coming out, I thought was was good. I thought that was good because, like many people say, you don't just come out and interrupt a group like DX, X, or the NWO, whatever you want to call them, if the company didn't have major plans for you. And obviously WWE has major plans for Damien Sandow. I mean, take a look at what's happened in the past few weeks. He was involved in Money in the Bank, came close numerous times of winning it, and now he interrupted DX. So you got to think to yourself, they have some plans for Damien, but what will it be? I thought honestly they might put the Intercontinental Championship on him, but they didn't do that. Instead, and I'll get to that in a little bit, they put it on somebody else. But it was a great opening right there, and I have to say I kind of like the new set, the new stage set. I don't know if it's going to be a permanent thing. I like the new stage set. The logo, I know some people are kind of questionable about, but I think it's okay. And everything, and the new graphics and all that's pretty good. And I like the new beginning, where instead it just said WWE, now it says WWE Now, Then, and Forever. I mean, then, now, and forever. So that was good to see. The opening match, the 6-man tag, I have to say it was decent. It was nice to see Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara as a team. And pretty much when I saw them as a team, I went on my WWE 12 game and put them as a team, as a tag team, because I think that's a great mix right there. Sheamus, Rey, and Sin Cara go over thanks to, well, of course, Ziggler punching Jericho, his partner, in the face, and causing Jericho to lose the match for himself, Ziggler, and Del Rio. So that was pretty good. It was a pretty decent opener. We had numerous backstage promos and all that. The hand bit, I'm pretty sure, I don't know how the Off the Ropes show reacted to that. I can say for one thing, they're like, they went that far. Yeah, they went that far with the hand. So, but it was a good little touch. I mean, AJ acting the way she was, and I kind of like the little swerve they did with AJ and Daniel Bryan. That was nice. The only thing was we didn't really get that much divas in action, if you will. I mean, out of all the anniversary shows we've had in the past, or celebration shows we've had in the past for Raw, there was no divas action. There was just divas. Well, there was one diva in action, and I'll get into it in a little bit. Brodus Clay, he went over on Jack Swagger in 16 seconds. And it was nice seeing Mick Foley come out as Dude Love. That was pretty cool. What else? I'm trying to make sure I don't forget anything here. The AJ Daniel Bryan wedding. That was really interesting. I think pretty much when you saw backstage Daniel Bryan talking to four guys in white shirts and all that, you pretty much knew where they were going to go with it. And I think they're going to address that next week on Raw. The fact that Daniel Bryan was actually going to have AJ committed. If you know what I mean. So, I like the little swerve they had on there, because you thought AJ was saying yes to Daniel, right? But instead she was saying yes to something else. And it was a business proposal to be the new general manager of Raw, which she became. And obviously she gave Daniel that look like she kind of figured out what he had planned, because maybe she saw the footage, saw the cameras. So that was quite interesting right there to kind of have that that little swerve there, and that kind of goes out of my and that's basically the number 5 candidate, where I say the unknown, if you will, the unknown right there. It was the unknown. Well, there's your unknown, AJ. Now the only question is, how is her character going to play a role as general manager? I like how on Twitter, Vicky Guerrero on Twitter in character says she's not going to last. Not enough, no experience, not mature. Basically she's got to grow up. I think we might see something there with AJ, but I don't know what it could be. Now, apparently, I'm sure WWE's got something planned storyline-wise with Daniel Bryan, AJ, and maybe Vince in the near future, but we'll just have to wait and see. It was nice seeing Slick back. It was nice seeing him back. He's kind of showing his age, if you know what I mean. What else? Well, we finally did get the confrontation between Lesnar and Triple H. It actually turned out to be Triple H and Heyman, and then Stephanie gets involved because Heyman keeps talking about their kids. She gets involved, basically goats Paul Heyman into accepting the match for Lesnar, and then she basically, as he's trying to talk about her kids again, she tackles him, and then out comes Brock to finally confront and fight Triple H and brawl with Triple H a little bit, and thus get clotheslined right out of the ring, giving Triple H a little bit of momentum. So it's kind of like even now. It's like, okay, Brock Lesnar broke Triple H's arm with the Kimura, and now Triple H basically clotheslined him or threw him right out of the ring. So it now makes you think, okay, who's going to win this fight at SummerSlam? And I won't be surprised if they add some kind of stipulations and stuff like that, like if so-and-so wins, this is what happens. I won't be surprised by that. And you know what? There were sources talking about the possibility of, somebody being in Triple H's corner and somebody being in Lesnar's corner. At first people thought it could be Laurinaitis in Lesnar's corner and Vince in Triple H's. Well, I think now we kind of have an idea as to who is going to be in whose corner at SummerSlam. Well, let's see now. Well, after that, I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, we had... Now, if I miss anything, I do apologize. The next thing we had, I think, was The Miz challenging Christian. Now, we didn't know who Christian's challenger was going to be, but it ended up being The Miz. And it was nice seeing Bret Hart come out to do the ring induction. That was pretty cool. But, Miz and Christian, a decent match. Got some good time. Some people have actually said that's how you're supposed to treat your mid-card title, one of your most important mid-card titles. Miz ends up going over and becoming the new Intercontinental Champion. Now, I like how somebody, I think it was Wade Keller or something like that on the PW Torch app and PW Torch site, kind of questioning how Miz got this title match of all things. You know, could it be maybe a favor by AJ because of the eye contact him and AJ made the week before? We don't know. We don't know. So that's going to be really interesting to see in the near future. Okay, what else? Oh yeah, then we had, again, I apologize if I skip anything, we had a backstage segment, I think before the Lesnar Triple H thing with Triple H and Trish, which was kind of similar, but with Trish in the Triple H position, similar to about, what was it, 12 years ago. And then here you have DX come in and they walk out with Triple H except for X-Pac, so that's pretty cool. And Trish said she wasn't going to be there. You see, this is the one thing WWE needs to realize. They did a good job in keeping some things secret, but they should realize that everybody pretty much figured out those that say they weren't going to be there, either were going to stand by what they said, or they were just trying to throw people off. Now, another thing, if you want to know, we had Heath Slater come out for a conclusion of this whole Legends thing he's had to deal with for the past month or so. And he basically comes out and challenges anybody to a no DQ, no count out match. And who answers the call? Lita. That's right, Lita. I didn't know Lita was going to be there, but that was a pretty nice treat. So Lita accepts, so he says, okay, Lita, I'll face you. You know, no problem, I'll accept it. But then Lita kind of swerves him and says, by the way, before we do this, I want to let you know, I hired protection. And out comes the APA. I mean, when you hear JBL's probably going to be there, you're thinking, well, JBL might do his JBL thing, right? Nope. He comes out in his APA gear, along with Ron Simmons. And then as Heath Slater's leaving the ring saying, hey, screw this shit, you know, I said, you know, screw this, you know, no way, I'm not going to do this now. As soon as he tries to get away, LOD music hits. Out comes Animal along with Sid, Vader, Doink, Roddy Piper, DDP, Sergeant Slaughter, Rikishi. You know, the list just goes. Basically, a list of the legends he's confronted or had to face in matches came out. Bob Backlund, they all came out tonight. I mean, they all came out last night to the Legion of Doom music and basically threw him back into the ring. They threw him back into the ring, which caused him to get a twist of fate by Lita. You get a twist of fate by Lita, a clothesline from hell by JBL, and then a Lita salt, as they used to call it, by Lita. A Lita moonsault for the match to end. And then of course you get Ron Simmons, Farouk, with his classic damn deal at the end. So that was pretty cool. We also had, I think it was earlier in the night, a confrontation between Daniel and CM Punk, which also involved The Rock, and that led into something I'll talk about. I think everybody knows about what that led into later on. But basically Rock comes out and announces that whoever the champion is at Royal Rumble, he's challenging for the title. So I'll get into that later. So, and after that he says, hey, don't worry, Daniel Bryan, even though you didn't get married, I got you a gift, a wedding gift, and he rock bottoms Daniel Bryan. So there's some possibilities there. There is some possibilities. Okay, now I think before the main event, again, if I missed anything, I apologize. Before the main event, we had Kane come out. I think he was supposed to face Jinder Mahal, but instead Jinder comes out and says no match is going to happen. Instead, we're going to take you out, and out he comes with Hunico, Camacho, Tyler Rex, and Kurt Hawkins, and they all want to make a name for themselves. And basically, Andrew McIntyre, and basically they're all surrounding the ring, a la Nexus, if you will, because they want to take out Kane and make a name for themselves. So it looks like he might have a faction there. Maybe. You would think that, right? But no, instead it gets interrupted by the return of the Undertaker, who comes out and along with his brother decimates all 6 of these guys by concluding with a tombstone a double tombstone to both Hunico and Hawkins. And then after that they kind of kick them out of the ring, get into the classic Brother the Destruction pose, and it was just great. I mean, that was a great moment. You hear fans saying this is awesome because that was awesome to see those two back together. Then we get to the main event. The main event. What can I say about this? Well, I have to say that it may have not been the best CM Punk John Cena match that they've had, but I will say this. The way its conclusion definitely made people question CM Punk's integrity and what he was really about. Because here you had first of all, you had your classic ref bump. Out comes Big Show, basically assaults John Cena the first time and knocks him out. CM Punk kind of selling conflict, like, okay, I know this isn't right, but this is the only opportunity I have to win, maybe. So he brings the referee back in, goes to the pin, doesn't work. So as he tries to go for the GTS and say, okay, now I'll do it my way, he gets put in the STF, and then out comes Big Show again to basically interfere in the match and cause a disqualification. Now CM Punk basically is just standing idly by, kind of turning his back to it, like, you know, what do I do? Do I do something about this? I mean, this really doesn't involve me, kind of deal, but should I do something? So this kind of includes, basically what happens is Rock comes out to help Cena and basically starts beating the crap, or, you know, laying the smackdown on the Big Show, which brought back, according to a lot of people, some great memories. And as soon as he hits the spine buster and gets ready to do the people's elbow, or as he's about to do the people's elbow, CM Punk comes flying in, hits him with a clothesline, then hits him with a GTS. Now a lot of people are wondering, what does this mean? Did we get a CM Punk heel turn? What's the deal? Well, that's the question. Did we get a CM Punk heel turn? And honestly, we don't know. I think what it is if we did get a heel turn, it's not going to be that big of a heel turn. Basically, CM Punk right now is in the same position, I think, he's being put into the same position that John Cena was put in over the past year or so, going into his match with The Rock. And that is, CM Punk is basically going to be a tweener for this, a babyface heel maybe. In other words, he's basically, hey, I'm myself, you know, that, hey, I didn't change much, all I did was send a message. Because you got to think of it this way from a storyline perspective. I mean, maybe, like I said, maybe he'll be a babyface heel. Like, look, I know some of you guys don't like what I did with The Rock, but let me explain why I did it. And I can hear him saying something like, you know, Rock may have done a lot for this company, but you just don't waltz right back in here and say, hey, I'm going to get a WWE title match, you know, just like that at the Royal Rumble. No. Instead, you earn it. And I'm pretty sure he'll come out and also say something like, as well as you don't just waltz in here and steal everybody else's spotlight as well. You don't steal the thunder. You know, so I'm thinking that could be it. You know, some people are speculating that maybe what Eve told him a week ago, 2 weeks ago, could be true. Or a week ago could be true. And what Big Show said could be true, but we don't know that. I mean, I'm sure he'll address, look, you know, I just feel it's not going to be that big of a heel turn just yet. I think it's more like a babyface heel turn, similar to John Cena and Rock, where even though John Cena was still a babyface, he was treated like a heel at times by the fans. So when it came to Rock, so I'm thinking that's the direction he's going to go in. He could also go the Shawn Michaels route. The Shawn Michaels route being when Shawn Michaels feuded with Hogan going into SummerSlam, that it could just be for maybe, you know, this situation and everything else doesn't count and whatever, and you get the idea. And then suddenly he'll go back to face. I'm just saying, I'm thinking that's one of the two scenarios they could go in with CM Punk. So, but you know, it was kind of surprising to see that happen. But again, I want you to take a look at the clues. He didn't attack Cena. Yeah, he didn't help Cena or anything. He didn't help Cena or anything, which would make people question as to why he did it, as to why he didn't help him. And maybe, like I said, maybe because storyline-wise, he felt, look, you know, it's not between me. This is between Cena and Show. You know, I don't know what to do. You know, I don't want to get involved in this. You know, and some people might say that's just showing his true colors, that he's just out for himself, but we don't know that. Now, some people might say it's kind of ironic that you're going to be turning Jericho into a babyface again, and at the same time you're turning the guy that he was feuding with earlier in the year into a heel. Well, that would make sense too, but still, you get the idea. Okay, you get what I'm saying, right? My point is, I don't think it's a complete heel turn yet. I think it's more like he's confused and all that, and he's more like, look, I know you guys don't like what I did with The Rock, but let me explain. And again, I'm pretty sure he'll explain, look, you don't just, someone like The Rock, despite what he's done for this company, you don't just waltz in here, get his title shot just like that. No, you do what I've done. You earn it. You earn the title shot by competing in this ring. And you know, and again, maybe he'll also bring up the fact that, you know, hey, also the reason I did this is because, look, you know, I have a lot of respect for John Cena, and John Cena has a lot of respect for me, but why was he always in the main events? I'm the champion. The way I was brought up in this business, the way I was taught in this business, is that if you're a champion if you're the champion of a promotion or a company, no matter who the face is of that company, and no matter who the face or the franchise player is of that company, you are always the main event. You are always in the last match. So I'm guessing maybe that will be part of it, but I don't think it's going to be a complete heel turn right off the bat. I think it's going to be more of a babyface heel turn. Basically, he'll still be cheered, there's no doubt about that, because when he says what I think he's going to say, just in my opinion, I think, you know, a lot of the older male demographic, and maybe some of the teenage demographic will be like, yeah, you know, we get that. We understand. We get where you're coming from, man. You know, you should be the main event. You're the champion. You know, Cena's the face, Cena's the franchise player, but you're the champion. You should be the main event. So, again, I'm just guessing that could be two things he brings up. Now, according to the wrestling news world, according to exclusive content, which I don't have access to, but they kind of hint at the fact that WWE might be also bringing in some real-life situations into the storyline as well when it comes to this for CM Punk. So that might be interesting too. But we'll just have to wait and see if this is going to pay off. If it pays off well, it pays off well. If it doesn't, then they just have to go back to having CM Punk as face. But I don't think this heel turn, whether you want to call it a complete heel turn, or as I like to call it, a babyface heel turn, or a tweener heel turn, I don't think it's going to be, you know, forever. I don't think it's going to be for long. It's just going to be because of someone like The Rock and all that. I think that's mainly the main focus for CM Punk's, what he did last night was The Rock, not John Cena, which, well, maybe part in John Cena as well, but mostly The Rock. So, but overall, I thought the 1000 Raw was pretty good, even though a lot of people have pointed out it's not really the 1000s, it's the 999. They just want to jump ahead, and that's cool. It's cool. But I thought the celebration was great, and you know, that's all I can really say about it. I mean, I thought it was great, one of the best Raws they've done. sort of a rebooting of the entire WWE, and it was great to see all the legends, great to see all the legends and those that have contributed to Monday Night Raw over the past 19 years coming out, and it was really great. It was really, really tremendous. And you know what? This is not the end of celebrations. You know that. At the beginning of next year, they're going to have a celebration for 20 years of Raw. You know that's coming, and you think this is big? That's going to be just as big, if not bigger. So, but that's all I can say. I'll give it a 10 out of 10. I know some people might say that's a little high, a little being generous, but hey, it was the 1000th Raw. Not many shows, sports-wise or sitcom-wise, have ever reached that. So, that's all I'm going to say on it. Comment down below, video response if you like, and I'll talk to you all later.